Watch the ride.
Welcome back to the Metalworks. I'm exhausted. I've been staying up till like 4 or 5 in the morning every night editing. Oh, just cut my invoice in half. Whoops. This is something I ordered, by the way. Gas. And the reason I was going to just show you this is because this is how I buy my gas. A lot of people tell me all the time, you know, get a bottle, it's so much cheaper. It is, but when you have to get the bottle to start with, or pay the rental fees, these actually work out being an okay price. I've had a bottle to go and get a fill on, yeah, of course, because it would cost me, well, it's £35 for 3 of these, or like 20 quid to fill a big bottle up, but I don't have a bottle, and they don't seem easy to come by, and to buy one, it's going to cost you, you know, a lot. And normally it comes with, say, the rental agreement. We have more gas. This is argon and CO2, because it's supposed to be better than straight CO2. Cleaner welds or something. Okay, and this is a local subscriber of mine. Another one, yes, has given me this. Sorry about the plastic rustling noises. It's a pair of calipers. I believe these are from a Phaser 900, I think that's what he said. But yes, a couple of calipers, which could do with the clean-up, but they've got some nice blue fronts. And I have had this thought about using these as a base of a clock, so the disc sits on sits in it like that, like it would on the bike, and then the clock's within it. But that's something I'll have to see. And the matching discs. And they're good because they'll clean up nicely. And they look pretty cool. Because I will definitely take those back to silver rather than leaving it painted, because, yeah. I have 2 clocks available in the store at the moment if you feel like buying one. I do need to get more made soon, so once the Dragonfly's done I might have to slow the Metalworks down videos wise to just produce some clocks, because this has taken me so much time it's actually become a bit of a financial burden. But it has to be done. Anyway, so what are we doing today? Oh, the guy that sent me that, sorry, was this guy here on Instagram. Thank you, dude, I really appreciate your help. Okay, so where are we with the wings? Oh, the wings. These things, these wings. So we've failed a lot with these, so what I'm going to do, which I know is going to work, and it's going to be simple and look cool, is I drew out a set of these wings, and I did, like, you know, different designs several times, and the more complicated they got, the more I thought they looked silly, and then I was like, do you know what it needs? It needs a nice elegant sweep, and then a whoosh for the top one. So that's why I've got 4 of these made, and then for the bottom one, a downward sweep, and then just a couple of detail ones. So what I've done is, although I need some more longer ones maybe for this, I've realised, or maybe not. No, it might be alright. I've made 4 of these long ones, just cut them out of the rod stock, and I've made 6 of these. I may need to make more, but they're just things that I can bend them. Now I'm going to bend the 2 top ones and the 2 bottom ones at the same time, so they both match, and then I might have to slightly fettle each one to make it fit the slight differences between each one, but hopefully by doing them in pairs it's going to make my life a little bit easier. So yes, it's going to be more bending and welding, and then we can move on to the legs, which I've already worked out. I'm going to make those now, and after that is final construction, which I'll be glad to do. I'm glad to get to the end of this one. I'm enjoying it, but I need to get to the end of it. If I bend these the same and then just turn one upside down, it'll be the opposite, won't it? Yeah. So if we join here and start the sweep, you basically want it to do the sweep between there and there-ish. Slight, and then do a bit either side of it. This is so much nicer, bending freehand, like, you know, just choosing rather than trying to follow a plan. And that. What I did there was I marked either where the bar was either side, and as you can see they're out of line, but I can now work out the angle so these fit relatively flat. It won't matter too much because I can smooth the end, and then I'll be welding it and then tidying it up. Right, I'll just use the cutting disc to chop these at the angle I need. So that'd be like that, and then we'll just do a little whoosh up to here and a whoosh up to here, and that might, I don't know, I might leave the bottom bit blank. Now, do I want to smooth the transition of those two? Probably. I'll probably take a little bit off the bottom of there so it just flattens that onto it so that it's more of a gradual connection. Although the weld will make that gradual. So maybe I should leave it as is. I was really concerned about these being different from one side to the other, and then I went out there and I looked up sculptures of different insects and things to see if they made the wings match. And no one does, and you just don't notice. It looks great. Even though in reality they're identical, really. I don't know, are they? They are on this design, but then this is a drawn design. Maybe I should have a look at a Dragonfly's wing next time I see one and see if they match both sides. I bet they don't. Anyway, what the hell am I going on about? Do they need any more than that? Let's try bending those short ones. Let's do that first and then worry about filling in, because that's the main thing. Yeah, so that's those two. Yeah, maybe a couple of these down in these ones like with the other ones. So yeah, okay, good. So we know we're going to fill the gaps afterwards. We've got multiple long bits, and these will be too long, so we can like use two out of it probably. And we got some deadly weapons here to use because we'll obviously arm it. Joking. So the first job to do is just to weld these bits together, which should be easy and fun, which is nice, because not everything's been easy and fun. Right, I've realised the easiest way of welding these is if I make myself a welding table. Basically, a welding table is a piece of metal, normally it's a metal table itself, and you just put the earth on the table, and you can put the metal parts on that, and then you can weld them without having to connect to the earth on them, which is what I'm going to do with these, because it means I put this on here, this like this, have the earth over here, and then go, and it will just go through the surface, and then I can, as long as I don't go too nuts, I won't weld onto this. I just need to get it set, and then I can do it over wood or something. But it does mean I need to clean up the surface with a wire wheel. This should be very satisfying and messy. Mask, goggles. Okay, so as you can see, cleaned up the plate, got the earth on here, which is going to make the connection through here. Makes its connection. That's how the welder works, big circle, just a circuit. So now I just need to weld them on. I'll let it cool a bit when it's on here so it doesn't twist out as well. And then we'll just get on with it. It should be quite a lot of time lapse, but quite a lot of fun. Okay, so what I've done the other pieces, I've chamfered one end down and rounded the other just so it fits in better. I know you can't see this very well. I apologise. I can hear it making these little pings and tings as it all cools down. Right, now it's together, I can do the rest of the welding over some wood so it doesn't matter if it drips down, because I just don't want to fuse something to this plate basically, because then I'm going to have this welded to this. Okay, so we have the stuff. Whoa, God. Okay, so we have the beginning of the two wings. These are both really hot. The welds are huge and they need to be. Basically, I'm going to grind down them flat, clean up the insides. If I need to touch up any bits or smooth out any bits, I'll do that. And then I've got to do the same for the rear wings. Please excuse me for doing a bit of a jump ahead here, but I'm just going to do what you've just seen again. Okay, so there's those two done. I'm going to need to leave these to cool down with the other ones. Then we'll go back to the table and just start adding little bits in if we want to, and then we'll do the cleanup, and then they're going to be done. Done! Okay, so to bring you up to date, welded them, ground them flat, re-welded some of the inside edges so I could have enough material to round off, which I'll do with a Dremel and a die grinding disc and some bits out of this that one of my very kind subscribers sent me. But now I'm just going to have a look to see if I want to add any extra bits in, because I kind of like the top ones, but maybe the bottom ones need more, but then maybe they don't. So I'm just going to have a little look. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to chamfer these so it sits flat. I'm going to cut and chamfer those so they just sit in. I'm going to just put one extra curve in, or maybe I should chamfer that and then cut it that way and then round it in that way. Yeah, I'll do that. Okay, so we'll do that. You know, I could keep adding more and more bits in and just fill the wings in entirely, but I actually think it would look quite cool with these. So it's quite even because you've got the 3 up here and the 3 down here, and you've got these open spaces, which means you can see underneath, and they're supposed to be see-through anyway. And as I've said before, this is an interpretation, not a representation. Is that correct? I don't know. Right, so I might as well get these welded on so I can get to the point that I'm just down to a Dremel. Okay, so we've put the third one in. I'm happy with them as they are. So now I'm going to get very intimate with a die grinder and spend an awful lot of time grinding these flat, grinding these round, smoothing these in, just basically really finishing it off. I've been over with the angle grinder in a few different directions, and I'm going to go back over them again because it's giving them a slight faceted look, so they're not just plain round stock. They've got flat parts and some facets, and it looks better and it will catch the light better if I do that. So, more time lapses, I'm afraid, because, well, it's a lot of grinding.